Right. We have 3 ticks. We have a live counter. It says we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Happy hump day for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere. I hope you're enjoying your Wednesday thus far. If you don't know who you have clicked on, as usual, I am Aileen Day. I am the owner of Meraki Business Solutions and Value Driven Brand, and also Aileen Day. Now, of course, I go live. There's a little bug in my camera, but anyway, let's ignore that. That's fine. If you have joined us before, thank you so much for coming back for more wonderful conversations around the joy of sex. And if you haven't joined us before and you're wondering what the hell I just said, you're right. I did say the joy of sex, because what we do is we talk about the joy of the customer, employee, and human experience. And when you put that together, you get the joy of sex. Now, back in my old office, I used to have a whiteboard behind me, and it had it on the whiteboard, and it was much easier to visualize. But we're trying to figure out how to get it back behind me so it makes more sense. And it really is, I mean, although it's not a new concept, it really is in some scenarios quite a new concept, because so often when we talk about customer experience, or CX, that's where this comes from, or EX being employee experience, or, you know, even less spoken about is the human experience. Often I have people push back and say, oh, you must be talking about customer service. And I have to say, no, not just customer service, although a customer service makes up such a massive proportion of the customer experience. It is not all of the experience. So what we do is we talk every week, a couple of times a week sometimes, about different components around those 3 pillars. And today is no different. I'm running the gauntlet. My dog is wandering around, so hopefully he lays down and stays quiet. Okay, so what are we talking about today? What we are talking about today is the predicament that comes when you are trying to be everything to everyone. Now, I myself have done exactly this, not just as an entrepreneur, but as a person with, you know, in my previous careers. I loved trying to be everything to everyone, but as you watching on, and I'm sure at some point you have experienced it yourself. If you've not tried to do it yourself, you've certainly come across a brand or a business who has tried to be everything to you. And what we call that essentially is, you know, the expert of everything and the master of none. And ultimately what happens is when we go into business, especially for ourselves, we really start off a little bit thirsty. No, that's a lie. A lot a bit thirsty, right? We want to be there for everybody. We want to help everyone. It's very altruistic. On top of that, we're also in the situation where we have to make money and cash flow ourselves now. So generally, you will do whatever you have to do to get the money coming in. And by God, we can do some dumb shit when it comes to needing to get money through the door. So at the end of the day, what happens though is you ultimately dilute the perception of your brand. And yes, you might be thinking, okay, when I first started, I certainly wasn't considering myself to be a brand. I was not on the track to legacy making, brand defining business. And that's fine. And, you know, I did it myself. So if you were to look at the website Meraki Business Solutions versus my newest website, aileenday.com.au, you will see a marked difference in how I position myself to my target audience. In Meraki Business Solutions, you can see I'm thirsty, right? I am thirsty. I will do anything and everything to get your business. I am a qualified PR specialist as well. Thanks, Swinburne and Google. Sorry, Swinburne, but you know it's true. It's probably just university in general these days, but I had to laugh the other day. I saw a Swinburne ad, and I thought, oh, yeah, $26,000 investment in Google is really what that is. But I do have a certificate that says I'm qualified in PR and marketing. So, woo! Anyway, because of that, when I started Meraki Business Solutions, I thought, well, this is great. There's so many components to public relations and, of course, marketing that I'll just do it all. I will do it all. If you want a crisis management plan, I'll do it. If you want an event managed, I will manage that event. If you want your bloody toes polished and your eyebrows plucked, mate, I'll make it happen. Whatever you need me to do, I'm your girl. And in my career, I probably wasn't much different. Actually, someone did say to me that I used to say no a lot, but I also said yes a lot more as well. So the problem is, though, that when you become a business owner, when you are that thirsty, people see the thirst. They smell the desperation a mile away and they back away, not even very slowly. They just get the fuck out of there, right? They're like, eek. That can't happen. The other problem is that you get the opposite of that happening, where other people see that thirst, see that desperation, and they create a situation where they become very opportunistic and they know that they can milk you for everything that you're willing to give. And you are certainly at that stage willing to give your right foot if it meant cash flow coming through your business. And trust me, I can appreciate that. But you do not want to put yourself in a position where you are just being targeted by opportunistic people taking advantage of your, I guess, freshness to business. So there's an interesting story that I want to quickly read, right? So I've been reading, thank you to Chris Green, I'll tag you. He suggested this book for me. It's called Traction, right? I feel like I should just start doing Aileen's book club. I feel like every other week I'm holding up a new book. So Traction is written by a gentleman called Gino Wickman, who I also follow here on LinkedIn. And so hi, Gino. And there is a story in there, which I'm certainly not ripping off. This was Gino's book, Gino's retelling of the story, all right? So here's how the story goes. A mother, her young son, and their donkey are taking a long journey through the countryside. The mother is riding the donkey with the son walking alongside as they enter the village. I feel like this is story time. Settle in, kids. All of a sudden, the village people gather and start stoning them. Well, that's not great. The pair run away and manage to escape. Whew. It's a real Hollywood blockbuster. The mother is dumbfounded, like mothers most days. Oh, bless. And as they approach the next village, she thinks, maybe they thought it was inappropriate to have the son walk. Bloody misogyny at its finest. So they switch places and prepare to enter. But once again, they're stoned by the village people. At a loss, she thinks maybe it's the donkey. Maybe they worship donkeys in this country. Oh, there's been stupider things. So before entering the next village, they decide to pick up the donkey and carry it. Oh, my Lord, my back already hurts at the thought. But it proves so heavy that as they cross a bridge, the donkey falls over the side, lands in the river, and drowns. Ba, 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 ba. So, what's the moral of the story? If you try to please everyone, you're going to lose your ass. Right. Get it? So, you can't make everybody happy. You cannot be everything to everyone, and nor should you be. And I think also, sometimes as we get a little bit older, we start to realize that as well, just through life's journey, that it really sucks to try to be everything to everyone. It's exhausting. And if you haven't got to that point yet and you're a grown-ass adult, certainly heading towards your 40s plus, it's a real head turner when you realize, yeah, that's not anything I need to be doing. So what do you need to be doing when you own a business and you are wanting to take that business and create a brand, right? It is not viable for you to try to do everything for everyone. It just isn't. And your business will go through an evolution, just like every single business owner does. And that's great. But it's the strategic evolution that is important. And what that means is, by strategy, we talked about strategy the other day. Strategy is you choosing to do something unique, different to everyone else. So what are you going to choose to do that is different and unique from everybody else, but is also playing to your strengths? So as an example, using myself as an example, yes, I can write PR crisis plans till the cow jumps over the moon or the donkey learns to swim, but it doesn't bring me joy. I mean, it's a necessary evil that comes with doing business, but it doesn't light me up. It doesn't light me up like talking and speaking to audiences about, customer, employee, and human experience does. So do I want to keep offering that as a staple service? No, I don't. Right? And the other thing is that it's not, because I don't do it as often as I potentially used to, it's also no longer really a strength for me. I would rather send my client to collaborate with a specific, trusted, valued PR specialist who does this day in, day out. And I know people who froth over a good PR crisis plan, right? It lights them up. So they have already understood that that is a service, that is something that they can be to somebody, is the person to provide that service. But that's not me anymore, right? If you look at Meraki Business Solutions versus Aileen Day, the services page, I haven't changed it, right? I've left it as is because I kind of look at it like a little bit of my origin story, really, and it's proved to be a perfect example of business evolution. But if you look at the services page on Meraki Business Solutions, the services page is like huge, right? Because there is up teen of a dozen different services on there, and that's not even all of them. I've even got a line at the bottom that says, if I haven't listed what you want, just tell me. Oh, can I? What a joke, right? But at the time, that's what I thought I needed to do. Over time, I've come to realize that I now have my own brand vision and my brand purpose. So my brand vision is to influence 10 million business owners, leaders, and entrepreneurs on how to live a value-driven life through creating a value-driven brand. Now, basically what happens is anything that I offer as a service, anything I put myself out to be, has to align to that purpose. That is the first step. So if you go back and you look at what it is you're offering to your customers, does it directly align to building and pushing you and gaining momentum towards achieving your purpose and vision in business? If it doesn't, then maybe consider what would be the ramifications of taking it out. right? And we talk about niching. Well, we haven't really talked about niching very much, but in essence, what you're doing is you're, working on the theory that less becomes more. And then the reality is with less, you have a higher quality output as well, because you're not just doing 55 jobs half done, right? You're doing half of that all done. Oh, what a blessing. Oh, how nice would that feel to just like sign something off and go, I'm really happy with how that ended up. That was a great job. Quality control, right? So that's the first thing I want you to consider. Go and look at your services. Go and look at your offering. Does it directly align to your brand purpose and vision? And just PS, if you don't have a brand purpose and vision, please get in touch with me. Let's sort that shit out, because you can't get anywhere without it. I know people think, oh, it's so 90s. Yes, but some good shit came out of the 90s, like Hypercolor, right? I was going to say like me, but I was from the 80s. So, some good things came out of the 80s, okay, as well. But some good things came out of the 90s, and some things stay a classic. They being your purpose, vision. Oh my God, how Greek do I look? Ooh. They are classics in the way that you do business, your vision, your purpose, and your values. Because without business values, I was just talking to a colleague of mine yesterday, Bruce, without brand values, without team values as well, what do you have to hold anyone accountable to, right? So please don't dismiss how important those three things are. And then the other thing is that once you've got them, you can start to make your decisions based on those three things. Does this align to get me my vision? Does this align to the behaviors that I expect to see through what I value? No, yes, great. Tick, cross, focused. The second thing that I want you to consider is that you have to then, knowing what your purpose and your vision is and your values, and stripping back some of those things that don't, let's do a Marie Kondo on our services. Does it spark joy? If it doesn't spark joy, give it to somebody else. You don't have to throw it in the bin. Find somebody who does what you don't want to do anymore and create a partnership with them, create a joint venture with them, collaborate with them. Help them help you build an even better, trusted, value-driven brand for your customers, right? If my customers want to get into the media, I could help them get into the media. But these days I have Kate Engler, the publicity princess. Why the hell would I bother doing it when I can send them to Kate, right? So start to grow your network, start to grow the people who are aligned to your vision, so you don't have to ditch those services. You can still have, your customers are still going to potentially need them. It just means you're not the one doing them. And the reality is you might sit there and think, oh, but then I'm going to lose money. Fuck that, mate. Do you know what you gain instead? Trust. Do you know how invaluable brand trust is? It is just worth so much more than a little bit of cash flow in the short term. There are legacies built on brand trust. I've told the story at least once, if not, or maybe I haven't. I think it's in my book that I'm writing. But, when I used to work at the paint department in Bunnings, if a customer came in and they wanted something and they couldn't get it from our paint department, I used to drive up the road in Narre Warren in Victoria to the Hames trade paint shop, and go and work with the owner, John, and grab what I needed. And I'd pay John for the products and take it back to Bunnings and give it to the customer. Now the customer's head would explode and go, why would you even do that? You've essentially sent me to the competitor. And I said, no, I haven't. You'll come back. because you trust that we are here for you. And you know that now because I showed you, right? So brand trust is worth more in your pocket than just one pissy little job that you don't even want to do. Let's be honest. So build your network with other trusted brands. If they gain, if they have love for the things that you don't love anymore, then that is so good. Create partnerships, because sometimes being in business can be a lonely road. So pack it full of friends who do cool shit, right? The third thing, and just on that second thing, once you know that, go and reiterate your customer experience journey map. Go and re-understand. Is that even a word? Re-understand, reimagine, re-implement your new customer experience. Understand what that front end of touch points now looks like and what the result is to the background, so that you implicitly know and strategically know what you need to implement to always deliver that added value for your customers. Okay. The third thing that I want you to do is I want you to then, understanding what you are now willing to deliver with the highest level of quality for the things that spark joy in you, so that you don't lose your ass in business. I want you to then go and figure out how you can be of the most value to your customers, specifically who are now your customers. Understanding implicitly, who are they? What do they value? I've talked about this man a million times. If you're not stalking him yet, please go and follow David Allison, the founder of Value Graphics. The world of value graphics is just so insightful and a phenomenal addition to the way we should be doing business. Understand what your customers value. Once you know what they value, then go and get that social proof from them. I'm in the process at the moment of working with a number of colleagues to obtain social proof for myself, right? For the things that I do in business, so that I can then get more of the customers that I love, who will in return love what I deliver. And once you have that social proof, you will get that cash flow, right? Because you're delivering value. You're becoming a trusted and value-driven brand, not just a thirsty, desperate, commodity in business. People need to need you, not want you, right? I need someone to help me with customer experience, not, I guess I want it, need. I need it. I thirst. You want them to thirst for you, right? I'm going to thirst trap the shit out of people. No, I'm not going to thirst trap them, because there's no trapping and it's all legit. I watch too much TikTok, it would seem. So the point of the story is, please go and review what you think you deliver versus what you really want to deliver. Find out what it is that sparks value for you, sparks joy in the things that you do. If you don't want to do it anymore, find people who you can partner up with to help you do it for your customers. So you're not leaving your customers in the lurch. To be honest, I put money on it that 99% of the things you say, yeah, we don't really want to do anymore, your customers don't even ask for. You're just looking thirsty for the sake of it now. So go and review the way you do business. Try to understand that, well, no, you will. I know you already do understand that you can't be everything to everybody, and nor should you be. There's a pot for every lid. So I look forward, if you are watching this now or later, tell me what you think you're going to actually strip back from your services. Tell me what it is that you might actually put in instead, if you are so brave. But at the same time, if you do need help with any of this, please be sure to hit me up. The things like this are the things that give me joy, helping you create clarity in the way that you do business so that your customer experience, so that your employee experience and the human experience that you deliver is always adding value. That is it for me today. Thank you so much. I can see there's a whole bunch of you online giving thumbs up and stuff. So thank you. And I look forward to catching up with you. Now, actually, I won't be here on Sunday because it's Mother's Day. I'm going to go hang out with my child and my mother's. And because I'm so lucky, I have multiple. I will be back next Wednesday. So until next Wednesday, please get out there, go and do something nice for your mum and, tell her you love her because that's really what we want. Just want a big hug. And until then, go and create value for somebody else in your life because what goes around comes around. I'm Aileen Day. Until next time.